guys, Mark aka the Nerdy Punk back with you again today for a new video. Today's video is going to be a vinyl update. It's probably the biggest one that I've ever had on this channel. So get yourself a drink and some popcorn, settle in, because we're going to be here for a little while. So I picked up quite a few things over the past couple months. I think everything, there's stuff in this haul that may date back to like March or something. And of course it's June right now. And then there's stuff that I just picked up last night as well. So I did a couple updates from, I made a trip to Chicago a couple weeks back, and I posted those two videos. So I updated all of that stuff, but I haven't updated any of this stuff. So we're going to go through, I think I have about 11 records to run through. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First up, I picked this one up a long time ago at a record store. This is Pat Benatar, Get Nervous. I want to say I picked this up in early April, maybe late March, not entirely sure. I didn't really, I kind of slept on Pat Benatar for a while. It's good classic rock, 80s pop stuff. I got this because the first song on the record, Shadows of the Night, it's an incredibly catchy song. I'm sure most of you guys know what that song's about, or what that song is. This is another one. I'm pretty sure I have not shown this on the channel. I think I picked this up the same days I got the Pat Benatar one. Picked up this Radiohead, I Might Be Wrong, live recordings. So this is a live performance from the early 2000s, I think, 2001 this came out. So it has a lot of songs from Kid A and Amnesiac. I believe this was released around the same time as Amnesiac. And it also has on side 2, last song is True Love Waits, which was just released on Radiohead's most recent album, A Moon-Shaped Pool. But up until this album, it had never been released, period. It was a famous song for Radiohead fans, but it had never been actually released. So this was the first release of that song. It's a live version. And to me, True Love Waits by Radiohead is the saddest song I've ever heard. But it's just, if you're in the right mindset, if you're kind of in that depressed mood, it's absolutely perfect. It lights the world on fire. Alright, these next few pickups are from an order that I placed on Amazon about a month ago, I think it was. The first album here is the Longshot, Love is for Losers. You've heard me talk a whole lot about this album. I love this album. This is my number 2 record of the year in 2018. This is, of course, from Billie Joe Armstrong, as the hype sticker indicates. The hype sticker actually says this is the best album since American Idiot. I would kind of agree. This is a really, really good album. Just back to basics rock and roll. If you like rock and roll at all, I think you really like this album. A couple songs, of course, that really remind me of like Beatles stuff. Of course, Billie Joe Armstrong had he helped write music for a musical that was kind of similar to Beatles music, and he ended up releasing an EP with those songs as the Longshot. But the first song, especially The Last Time, really reminds me of the Beatles. There's a track list. Yeah, I've talked enough about this album. I love it. Took me forever to get it on vinyl. I'll go ahead and show you, actually. This is a self-release from 2018. I'll show you the labels. This is a black vinyl, but it's got really nice custom labels for the Longshot. Alright, next one from that Amazon haul here. Get Nirvana Unplugged live in New York. It's the first Nirvana record in my collection. I'm really getting into them. I've been getting into grunge a lot in general, which you're going to see with the next album as well. But I really, really love Nirvana now. I kind of slept on them for a while. I bought Nevermind on CD quite a few years ago, but I never really got into them. I knew Smells Like Teen Spirits, I knew a lot of their hits, but I've really been getting into their catalog lately. So yeah, I was very excited to get this on vinyl. classic performance. Track listing. So, I mean, standouts: About a Girl, Come As You Are, which was the only like major hit that they played on this album. This album was notorious because Kurt Cobain refused to play any of the smash hits by Nirvana. Instead, he chose to play a lot of their unknown songs and a lot of covers. The cover of David Bowie's The Man Who Sold the World, that's fantastic. Polly, which is one of my favorite songs of theirs. I love this version of it. All Apologies, and of course, the last song on the record, Where Did You Sleep Last Night, which is the cover from Leadbelly. Amazing, amazing cover that just gives me chills every time. So this is from 1994 on Geffen Records. It comes with the inner sleeve here, custom inner sleeve. It's got Geffen Records labels. Alright, the next pick that was very similar in terms of the grunge world, I picked up Audioslave. So this is the supergroup. The only member that I know is Chris Cornell. He was, of course, the lead singer, passed away recently. He was also the lead singer of Soundgarden, which I've also been getting into quite a bit. But I like Audioslave better. Really love this album. This self-titled album here. It's their debut. Let's see, Coach Eyes, the first song. Show Me How to Live. I love that song. Like a Stone, of course, their major hit, is on here. Lots of really good songs. So yeah, this one has a gatefold, so I'll pull that out for you guys. Here's your gatefold. First record, they both have custom inner sleeves here. I believe both of the records look the same, so I'll show you one of those. Yeah, it's got these custom Audioslave labels there. And then we have the other record. This came out in 2002, originally, from Interscope Records. So yeah, here's the other inner sleeve. It has lyrics on there and pictures. Alright, next thing I picked up from Amazon, the last thing I picked up from Amazon, was this album, Black Sabbath, self-titled. So this is one of the re-releases, obviously, re-released in 2016. Originally 1970, Warner Brothers Records. Let's see. A classic record. I mean, it's pretty much credited with the foundation of metal, heavy metal music. This is just the perfect album, just put on and just have a couple drinks, just like jam out. Like it flows incredibly well. Most of my favorite Black Sabbath songs are on this record. Black Sabbath, Wasp, NIB, Wicked World is my favorite Black Sabbath song. Yeah, lots of great songs in here. I believe this has a gatefold as well, so I'll show you guys that. Yep, really nice gatefold. This has a poem on the cross there, upside down cross, and then it has track listing. So this was interesting. So the record, it came with this custom inner sleeve, has a write-up about the band on it, but the record itself came in this plastic inner sleeve, and there's the Warner Brothers labels there. So yeah, really nice. I like this sleeve, but it's nice that they came with both. Alright, next up, this one actually is an album that came out fairly recently. This came out in late April of 2019. This is Cokie the Clown. So if you're not familiar with this is Fat Mike. of NOFX. This is his new solo project. This album, like I said, just came out in April. I pre-ordered it after I heard the lead single, which is called Punk Rock Saved My Life. Fantastic song, really personal. This whole album is deeply, deeply personal for Fat Mike. Lots of really, really personal lyrics. This is probably the most depressing album I have ever listened to. I definitely don't recommend this for everybody. I really enjoyed it, but it took me a couple listens, and it's definitely a heavy listen. If you're just trying to put on a record to just kind of enjoy yourself for a while, this is not the album to put on. This is the album to put on when you're just depressed and you need to relate to something, because this is an incredibly dark album. The first song is about, I'm assuming it's about Fat Mike, or it's either about a character. Anyway, he finds his girlfriend, maybe not dead in the bathtub, but it looks like she might be dead in the bathtub. And believe it or not, that is nowhere near the darkest material on this album. It's actually kind of mellow compared to a lot of the stuff. Lots of songs about deaths within Fat Mike's inner circle. The song, I believe it's Swing and Miss. That's an incredibly dark song about his friend when he was young who committed suicide. He has a song called That Time I Killed My Mom about him assisting his mother's suicide. Lots of really dark lyrics, but it's also not, it doesn't sound like NOFX, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. If you're expecting this to be that fast-paced skate punk style of NOFX, couldn't be farther from it. This is more piano ballads, more slow songs, which I think is good. You know, if he wants to make that fast-paced punk rock, he's got NOFX. He doesn't need to do the side project. He did the side project for a more intimate, personal sound. So I really like that. This, of course, came in on Fat Records from 2019. By the time I learned of this record, the colored vinyl had already sold out, so I just have the standard black. It comes with this insert. Has some lyrics on there. Another cool thing about this record is that the drummer for the album is Travis Barker of Blink-182. Yeah, that depicts the scene from the bathtub song. That's a drawing. Yeah, dark stuff. Let's see. There's the custom labels there. Track listing on side 1. And like I said, black vinyl. So I do want to play you guys a quick clip from this record. I want to do a needle drop on one of the least depressing songs on the record, which is called Fuck You All. So I'll be right back after that.
Fuck you all, and fuck you all. There's no crystal methods or heroin integrity. That's cause addicts suffer from irrationality. Then there's those who can't afford everything they need, but still enjoy the thrill of the crime. Their addiction is greed. It must be nice that you can be.
Okay, other thing that I picked up from Fat Records, at the same time that I ordered the Cokie the Clown record, I ordered this NOFX Ribbed Live in a Dive. So apparently they do this Live in a Dive series, and this was the one that they just released last year in 2018. It's their album Ribbed. They're playing live. It was recorded on December 13th, 2012. Came in 2018 on Fat Records. I actually haven't even opened this yet. It's still sealed. So I can go ahead and do that live on camera here. So I don't think I've listened to this. In fact, I really haven't listened to a lot of NOFX's older records. I've listened to a lot of their newer stuff in the past, like, 15 years or so. But this album came out, I believe, in the late 80s. Maybe very early 90s. Not entirely sure. Alright. Shrink wrap is off. So that's what it looks like without the shrink. I know the Moron Brothers, which is the second track on this album, but I'm not familiar with the rest of them. Okay. So this comes with quite a bit of stuff here. Also comes with a download card. Yeah. So if anybody wants the digital album, hopefully the camera focuses on that. Anyway, hopefully you got that. If not, oh well. It comes with this interesting, like, booklet thing almost. NOFX Live in a Dive. Actually, I think this is a poster. Yeah, I think I vaguely remember that was a thing. Let's see. I think it folds down again. Yep. Yeah, this is a giant poster. So there's a picture of the band playing, I believe when this was recorded. It was either when this was recorded or it's just like a modern picture of the band. So yeah, cool. Oh, this is from Riot Fest in Denver, Colorado, 2016. And then there's the older picture of the band. I'm assuming around the timing of Ribbed. Oh, it's at 924 Gilman Street, Berkeley, California. Cool. Gilman Street was, of course, where Green Day came up, and they were famous. That's a really nice poster. I may have to see about getting a frame for that. And then here's the record itself. So there's side one with those really cool labels there. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a guy getting kicked in the face, spilling his beer. And then there's the other label with the two sides track listing. And this is also just on black vinyl. I ordered this late as well. So there's that. Alright, these last two pickups were both from a concert that I just went to last night, actually. I saw about 5 bands at this really cool venue called Bottom Lounge in Chicago. And saw about 5 like punk bands, indie rock stuff. So I picked up 2 records from this show. The first one being this one. This is called Hard Feelings by the band Future Teens. So I was not familiar with this band prior to the show. They were one of the opening acts. They're an indie rock pop band from Boston, Massachusetts. They, in fact, they describe their genre as bummer pop, which is interesting. They do write a lot of lyrics about relationships, specifically failed relationships. So anyway, I was actually lucky enough to meet one of the lead singers of this band. She was actually working the merch table after the show. And this all has pictures from childhood of the band members, or at least the band members at the time of this recording. So Amy is one of the lead singer's names, and I met her. But they actually had a lineup change because they had 2 guys and 2 girls, and there's 3 guys here. So the bass player has changed because the bass player was also a woman as well. So anyway, this came out in 2017 on Take This to Heart Records, also Pine Box Records. So this was surprisingly good. I really, really liked this band. This comes with a cool inner sleeve. Has lyrics on it and then some band information at the very bottom. And it comes in on this really nice, what they call electric blue record. So it's kind of transparent, more cloudy than anything. And it's got this kind of like blue-green thing going on. So there's the custom labels. Pretty cool. I want to go ahead and give this a quick spin, and I'm going to do a needle drop on one of the songs that I really enjoyed from the show. It's called What's My Sign Again. So I will do that and be right back. Alright, the other album that I picked up from this show is from the headlining act, and this was Hot Mulligan. This is their debut album called Pilot. So Hot Mulligan, if you're not familiar, they are a modern pop-punk band. In my opinion, here's how I kind of describe their sound. To me, the modern pop-punk sound is the evolution of pop-punk from the time period of Fall Out Boy and All Time Low. Kind of that mid to late 2000s sound that's kind of evolved to today. That's what a lot of these bands sound like. To me, anyway. So bands are very similar to bands like Knuckle Puck and Neck Deep. If you're familiar with those bands, actually the first time that I saw this band was when they were the opening act for Knuckle Puck. So definitely really like this band, and if you're into that kind of music, I think you'll really like them as well. They're one of the best that I've seen from that kind of modern pop punk scene. So this is a limited copy. Comes in on colored vinyl. It says half mustard, half red with black splatter. It's 500 copies. What I believe they did with this album is that they pressed it on a bunch of different colored versions, each one being limited. So that's how they keep the pressing numbers low with also giving cool colored vinyl. So yeah, that's what it looks like without the plastic there. Really good songs on this record. Deluxe Capacitor, All You Wanted by Michelle Branch. Another really cool thing about this band is that they've brought back the tradition of these really long, funny song titles of pop punk from back in the day. So Fall Out Boy had songs like A Little Less 16 Candles, A Little More Touch Me. Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner. Like all of those classic, like really long titles that had nothing to do with the song, they do this all the time. It's funny. Another one of the song titles just like that, the soundtrack to Missing a Slam Dunk. Really good songs on this record. Trying to see if there's any other standouts. How Do You Know It's Not Armadillo Shells? That's another standout on this record. It's from 2018 on No Sleep Records. It has a gatefold, but it's very plain. Just has some like thank yous from the band, and then like engineering and producing credits. On the other side, and then the record itself, it has these very plain custom labels. There's Hot Mulligan Pilot, and the record is beautiful. There it is. So you got the half yellow side, half red with the splatter. Really nice looking record. So I actually did get a couple of concert clips from Hot Mulligan's performance, so I'm going to go ahead and roll those, and then I'll be right back to wrap up this video. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you really enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Hit that subscribe button down below to stay tuned for future content. And yeah, hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.